My name is Kerrie, and my goal is to inspire healing and meaning in all areas of life. In this podcast, we will dive deep into conversations. From heartbreak to freedom, we will explore different self-care modalities, learn to be the best expressions of ourselves, and to live with purpose. I'm here to offer my personal insights and to share my story in hopes that it will guide you on your path. This is Heal with Care, a journey of self-discovery. My mind was racing. It was filled with endless lists of things to do that sometimes I couldn't keep it all straight. Deadlines were piling up at work, and the demands of my role just kept on growing. At home, there was even more to take care of, and I realized I barely had a moment to breathe. On weekends, I had maybe 4 hours each day to myself, and even that time was spent walking my dogs, getting ready, and driving to work, appointments, cooking, and running errands. And on the weekends, I did my groceries, laundry, cleaning, housework, and I was always preparing for the week ahead. I used to have so much time in my day to just be, and now adult responsibilities have taken over. Rent, grocery, chores, bills. I had to stay on top of everything. My phone never stopped buzzing, and with every ping and notification, made my world feel even more overwhelming. The pressure to reply instantly made my brain feel like it was always on edge. With so much happening on the outside, my inner world became a mess of chaos and noise. I just wanted to escape, to get away and unplug from it all. One thing that always brought me peace was being in the great outdoors. There was also something comforting about gazing up at the stars. That's something I did regularly as a child, and to some degree, it felt like a sweet escape. As I got older, what I realized was that I loved camping. It was therapeutic for me. Being surrounded by nature with my only thought was to focus on my survival. During this short time, I lived like a minimalist, only having exactly what I needed, no more, no less. Camping gave me the chance to let go of all the worries of the world and just be in the here and now, simply existing. I didn't worry about time. I based everything on the sunrise and sunset. I completely disconnected from my phone. I'd leave it behind. There was never any evidence of where I was because I never took photographs. There was no communication to the outside world, so no one would know where I am. Sometimes all I had was a map and whatever I could carry. And honestly, it was the best couple days of my life. When I entered the workforce full time, I made a point to disconnect from everything at least once a year. In my early years, when I had more energy, I would make a point to backpack or portage somewhere more secluded. My goal was to get away from all the noise in the real world, and that I managed to do. Recently, I took a little escape myself, a spa day, and an Airbnb getaway, and it was amazing. I fully disconnected from my work and my phone, and it gave me the space to reconnect with myself and with my partner. It's not something we do often, but there's something powerful that happens when I completely unplug from the outside world. It's like hitting a reset button. I return to this carefree, stress-free version of myself, just genuinely happy to be alive. When life gets hectic, we're constantly running on empty. But when I pause and take time for myself, I come back refreshed. I regain my clarity, I feel so energized, and I'm able to show up as the best version of me. But in today's world, that kind of pause can feel like a luxury. We're being pushed to our limits just to survive. It feels like every person for themselves. There's little sense of community. Some cultures thrive on strong community support, but here in North America, we often do everything on our own. We spread ourselves so thin that it's hard to keep up. Yet every time I disconnect for just 3 or 4 days, I come back feeling so alive. So it makes me wonder about the rest of the year. What if we found a way to create a better balance for ourselves? What if we gave ourselves just 1 or 2 hours a week to just be, to forget about everything and simply exist? Would it make a difference? What if we set strong boundaries and said, this time is for me, and truly stick to it? Would we bounce back quicker? Would that space be enough? I think we each need to experiment to find out how much time we personally need to feel like our best selves. For me, the little things matter. Waking up in the morning, having a cup of tea, maybe doing some yoga stretches or going to the gym in the morning. At the end of the day, take a 20 or 30-minute Epsom salt bath just to unwind. Maybe during the day, I'm sitting outside, completely unplugging, listening to the water, lake, or going for a walk in the woods. There are so many small rituals we can sprinkle throughout the day to nourish ourselves. It really comes down to what makes you feel your best. I guess my point is sometimes I need a full day to recover. And maybe if I consistently wove these habits into my daily life, it wouldn't feel so hard to keep going. The other day, I started to feel cluttered, both my space and in my mind. I truly believe that to some degree, our inner world is reflected in our outer world. When I'm stressed, scattered, or all over the place, I can look around and see that my space mirrors that. It's no longer organized and everything feels out of balance. But the moment I shift into organizing mode, clearing, tidying, putting things back into place, I feel so much better inside. It's like creating physical order gives me emotional clarity. That's something worth thinking about. Lately, I've been feeling the urge to purge, physically letting go of things so that I can energetically feel better in my space. And every time I do this, I feel so lighter for some reason. Whether it's getting rid of what I no longer need or giving things away to someone who can use them, there's something so healing about letting go. Over time, as I've done more inner work, I've realized I don't need that much physical things. My outer world tends to reflect how I feel emotionally, and the less emotional baggage I carry, the less physical stuff I seem to need. I really believe our emotions are tied to our physical bodies, but that will be a topic for another day. Here's an example that I want to share with you. So about 4 years ago, I was heartbroken. I went through a painful breakup, and one of the ways I coped was by getting rid of physical items that reminded me of my ex. It was a way to release what no longer served me. Emotionally, I may have wanted to hold on as long as I could, but deep down, I knew it was time to move on. And as I cleared out these reminders, I felt a noticeable shift. I felt lighter, freer, more like myself again, and it was part of my healing process. When I was mentally ready to let go of the past and begin to reinvent myself, that's when everything changed. There's a point to my story, I promise. By letting go, I was able to create space for something better to enter into my life. Sometimes I think we have so much going on that there's simply no room to welcome anything new. But when we allow ourselves to let go of what we no longer need, that's when the magic happens. New and beautiful things will begin to flow into our lives. Every time I've been able to release something, whether it's a physical item or an old belief or an emotional attachment, I was met with something better. Maybe that's just how energy works. We need to clear out what no longer serves us so that what is meant for us is finally able to come through. My favorite example is how I met my partner who I am with today. I remember driving in my car thinking to myself, why am I still hoping, praying, and dreaming for this man who was my ex to come back to me? He clearly wasn't in the frame of mind to be in a relationship with me. I had waited for months, and after finally speaking with him, it was so obvious he didn't care to be with me. He had made up his mind. I kept going back and forth, waiting for him to come around, but he wasn't budging. He had completely moved on, and he really wanted me to move on as well. As much as I wanted to keep holding on to hope, when I looked at the bigger picture, it just wasn't worth it. I knew I was worth so much more than that. So I made the decision to completely let go of him. Not just the relationship, but the idea that it might work out one day. I had to stop torturing myself. The moment I chose me is the moment I trusted what was best for me and fully let go of the relationship I had once prayed so hard to fix. Was the moment everything changed. Shortly after, I met my current partner, who I am with today, and I couldn't be happier. How we feel in our physical space is just as important as how we feel on the inside. These past few months have been some of the most stressful moments for me. I fully stepped out into the world as an energy healer. I've been doing all the behind scenes work to communicate with my community, to show up and to be seen. It's been a wild ride, nonstop for the past 3 months. I've put in so much time and energy working day and night, planning, prepping, and traveling to events and fairs. And most of it is unseen. People in my outer world often assume I'm just living my best life, doing nothing all day, but they don't see the blood, sweat, and tears that go into running a small business, especially one that is rooted in service and healing. The truth is, it has been a rough few months. Stepping out fully as an intuitive energy healer was a big leap for me, and I found myself in need of space. Space to breathe, to reflect, and to simply be. After weeks of being on the road and constantly in motion, I was so grateful to finally get away, because while I may guide others in rest and healing, I am still human and I live in my humanness. I don't have hours every day to sit and meditate. I do what I can. I take baths, mindful showers, and sprinkle moments of presence throughout my day. Not because it's easy, but because I have to. Creating space for myself is what allows me to stay inspired and continue to do the work that I'm passionate about. As someone who holds space for others to relax and reconnect with their energy, I know I need to be an example of that too. I fall into the same patterns as everyone else, getting caught up in all the to-dos, the responsibilities, the rush of it all. I'm walking this path right alongside all of you. So I want to leave you with this thought. Allow yourself to let go, whether it's something physical, emotional, mental. Release what feels heavy, what no longer serves you. Because when you let go, you create space. And in that space, new energy, opportunities, and clarity can come in. Stay open. Come back to what makes you feel good in your own skin. Follow what brings you joy, and you'll begin to see the magic unfold. If you need space to return to yourself, make it happen. Ask for help if you need to. Block off the time. Give yourself that permission. Because at the end of the day, we're all creators of our own lives, and it's up to us to choose what we want to make room for. Thank you so much for listening in. I hope you found this episode insightful. If you feel called to, please share this podcast, subscribe to it, and leave a rating and review. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, you can email me at healwithcare@gmail.com or follow me on Instagram at healwithcare. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next episode.